Hello everyone, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Today I have the review on HipDot Cosmetics. As you guys know, I had mentioned this in a haul and I also did a first impression using one of these 4 palettes that I own currently, and I have my full review thoughts and who would I recommend this to as far as the brand as a whole, because I have more than one palette that I've been playing around with. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. So HipDot Cosmetics is a relatively new indie brand to the industry. I believe they did start this year, if not late last year, but they have not hit their 1-year mark on the market. The owner of the brand, as I mentioned prior, had worked with Milk Makeup, and then she moved on and worked with Pat McGrath. And that's where it caught my attention because I recently tried Pat McGrath eyeshadows and I wanted to see if they were any similar to this brand specifically here. So her aesthetic to this brand is more like earthy. She gets a lot of her palette inspiration from the earth as far as some caves, the Brazilian atmosphere, Pride Month, things of that nature. So she does get a lot of inspiration from nature itself, which I do love because they turned out amazing. Each of her palettes are $30 a piece. Currently, she does have 5 palettes on her website. One is limited edition, which is for Pride Month. I'm not sure how long it'll be. And you can find an affiliate code for 15% off your total purchase price. There is sometimes, if you sign up, you get 20% off, you get an email, or certain times of the month or year, she may have 20% off of certain things. That's how I ended up with them. I own 4 of her palettes, which are absolutely beautiful. They're all their own different packaging. They come with a slip, and the slip matches the actual palette itself, so you can throw away the slip. On the back, you get the name of the actual palette, the brand name, ingredients, the whole inspiration behind each palette, and you also get here, it's cruelty-free, vegan, paraben-free, talc-free, and mineral oil-free, and that goes for all of our eyeshadow palettes that I own in my hands. I don't know if any of them don't have it, but as far as the ones that I do, they all have that type of setup. You get 27 grams of eyeshadow, you guys, 27 grams. Each palette comes with 15 eyeshadows in each palette. So they're all the standard size. I don't know if she'll do smaller ones, if she'll end up doing bigger ones, but as of right now, all of her palettes are 15 shadows within one palette. So you're getting 15 shadows in each of them. So I'm just gonna run down through these really quickly because I already did this in a haul, but just in case you haven't seen that haul video, I wanted to reiterate. So I did purchase one of her pressed palettes. These are the pressed glitter palettes. She does have 2, like I mentioned. This is her permanent one, and then she has one for Pride Month that is limited edition. This one is called Crystals, and as you guys can see, kind of reminds me of like crystals, what you find within the earth. And here are the actual eyeshadows of these. As you guys can see, they're all pressed glitters in here, different undertones, different variety. Some are multi glitter, other ones are just straight what you see in the palette itself. Specifically for this palette, you do have to keep this if you want to keep the names of the actual shadows, but that only goes for this specific one that I have here. The next one that she came out with, I'm pretty sure it's this one. This is the Zion palette. This one is supposed to be Utah's sandstone caves. So you see the caves, that's what you get. So obviously the packaging is just like the outer part, and here you have this palette right here, and as you guys can see, the names of the eyeshadows are imprinted in the palette, so you do not need to keep any of the plastic cover or anything, which I actually appreciate a lot more. So these names are all based off of the Utah sandstone caves and things. You get Grounded, Wonderlust, Canyon, Maze, Vibration, you get the point. And this is the palette that I am currently wearing on my eyes. I used 3 eyeshadows to create this look. Oh my goodness, you guys. I am trying to contain myself because I am so excited about this brand. Now we have C Note. Here is C Note, and this is supposed to be the inner goddess through the alluring blues and gleams golds of C Note, the sacred underground pools of Mexico's, where the Mayans, so it's based off of the Mayan culture and Mexico. So look how pretty this one, and this is the one that caught my attention to the brand itself. No surprise, since it is about Mexico, I am Latina, so there you are. So this is the one you get here. This is not an all blue palette, but you can see that you get mostly blues with different undertones, and then you get some of those earthy shades in here as well. So some of the names on this palette are Ojos, Rain, Meltwater, Ancient, Sacred, Spirit, Cave. So you guys can see that it is based off of the Mayans and Mexico. Last but not least, this is one of her most recent palettes. This is the Rio palette, and this is based off of the beachy days and sultry nights of South America, bright Rio, Brazil, and here's the packaging. You guys can see that it has like those rainforest leaves. And this one is the first palette that incorporates her pressed glitters as well as her eyeshadow formula here. You do get mattes and shimmers in this one as well. And the names are beautiful. They go with the Brazilian atmosphere. Carnival, Copacabana, Por Favor, Surf, Samba, Giselle, Ipanema. So you get the point. She does have themes within her palettes, and they all are beautifully designed. They all go nicely together. Not one palette did I feel like any of the shades were awkward, did not go with the theme, did not perform. I am so fascinated by this brand. I am in love with this brand. I am spoiling it for you guys because I'm telling you, I love it. I absolutely love it. Here are my thoughts on these. I have used these for about 2 weeks straight. I've used them in different circumstances, different instances, different atmospheres, different temperatures. You name it, I have put these eyeshadows to the test. These eyeshadows have a little bit of powder kick up, which is okay. They are smooth to the touch. They blend like a dream. They are pigmented enough where you don't have to constantly build the eyeshadow up, but they're not too pigmented where you're going to get a patchy mess and you can't blend out the product. These are some of, by far, my favorite, and I dare to say that, my favorite eyeshadow formula from the indie brand world. These have blown away other indie brands that I have tried. These have surpassed it, and for $30 a palette, I am in shock that she does not have these at a higher price. I'm going to say this, and I know this is a bold statement, but these are a lot better than the Anastasia eyeshadow formula, and those are a lot more than these. Oh my goodness. I cannot imagine somebody not liking these, honestly. I've worn these through the heat. They've lasted. I've worn these just an everyday. I have mixed shades together. I have used the pressed glitter glues throughout my day. I've even put these to the test. One day I had specifically 20 minutes in total to do my full entire face. I had to find something quick, easy to the point. I pulled out one of these eyeshadow palettes to wear on my eyes, and let me tell you, I did not have one problem blending, adding, mixing, you name it. I was able to put a eye look together with these palettes in 20 minutes, like the whole entire look, and I had about 5 minutes on my eyes, and it turned out so beautiful. It looked like I had sat there and took my dear time doing my eyeshadows. It just blew me away. This brand has made it up there for me. This brand has made the list of whenever they released an eyeshadow palette, I want them all. That's how much I've fallen in love with this brand. She did such an amazing job. She really took her knowledge of the other brands that she worked with and really put such a great product at an affordable price for us to try out. Now you're probably wondering, Alex, is this comparable to Pat McGrath? Pat McGrath still has a little bit more of a smoother formula, but you guys, it's not by much. The formula from Pat McGrath, I feel like you could feel that it is high end. You could feel that it is amazing. There is no powder kick up in the Pat McGrath as much as there is here, but this one doesn't have as much either. I could probably use this one and use the Pat McGrath, and I might not really, like a normal everyday person that doesn't have a lot of eyeshadow would not be able to tell the difference. Me personally, because I've tried so many eyeshadow formulas, so many brands over so many years, that I could tell the difference, but I'm telling you now, it is not by much. She really has come out with such an amazing formula, such an amazing aesthetic to her brand, the themes to her palettes. Everything about them I have fallen head over heels for. In the month of July, she will be coming out with a SpongeBob palette. I am one that never watched SpongeBob, but I want it. I want the palette. I love the color theme that she came out with that one, and I'm dying to get it. And for $30 plus 15% off, I am all over that. I would pay a higher price for it. These are amazing. I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, when it comes to the pressed glitters, in my first impression, I used the Rio one, and I used the pressed glitters with a glitter glue. I went ahead and used the pressed glitters without a glitter glue, and it stays put just as well as with a glitter glue. I would be more inclined to say I feel more safe using a glitter glue just because I know that it really works, but it still worked just as fine. If you have finicky eyelids, hooded eyelids, then go ahead and use a pressed a glitter glue, but you're gonna be fine with these. I am so blown, like I just can't. I'm speechless because I just love this brand so much. I want to scream it to the rooftops at how much I have fallen in love with this brand. I just love everything about it. It comes with a mirror. If you haven't seen it, it comes with a mirror. The packaging is nice and sturdy. It is heavy. It's magnetic, so it's not going to flop open. It has a great magnet to it, so it stays put. You don't have to keep this if you want. Whatever's on the back of the actual slip is on the back of the actual palette, so you do not need to keep unnecessary packaging if you do not want to. Me, you know me, I just like to keep everything together. I can't say that I like one over the other. I think it's just more of your personal preference of what you like. If you like more of warm tones, but you don't want to stick to the oranges and browns, this is a step out of the neutral spectrum. If you like warm tones and you love something rustic, orangey, look at this. Like this is warm tone, but it's different. You're getting purples and oranges and reds, but reds with orange undertones to them, reds with pink to them, purples with some brown to them, purples with some red to them. It's such a beautiful theme to this palette. This is the eye look I came out with, and yeah, I ended up putting Wild Rose all over my lid, which is a matte lavender, which is so pigmented, you guys. I'm sure you guys seen the swatches, but so pigmented. I did not have to build this up that much at all. The pigmentation to all of these is amazing. This is my inner corner. Oh my goodness, you put this all over the lid. Love it, love it. I have Mystery in my crease, as you guys can see right there. It's more red undertone than it does look like in the actual pan. And then for my lower lash line, I have Sublime, which is right here. So this is a palette that I have not showcased on my channel yet that I wanted to wear today, but I love this one. This is a great one. Now, if you're the type that wants to have more of your natural colors, but wants a pops of different blues in them, I would go with the C-Note palette. The C-Note palette does have your browns and your yellows, a little bit of like your green, olivey right here, your dark blues, a little bit of pops of blues in here, and then transition shades here. I actually used this palette in a few videos. I'm trying to remember which one, but I was using predominantly all the blues. This one is by far my favorite. The color Goddess, oh my goodness gracious, that color is amazing. Amazing, you guys. Look, I barely touched it, and look at that. I love the shade. It's one of my favorites out of this whole entire palette. But this is more for you if you like more blues, cooler tones. You want a little bit of neutral, but you still want your blues and not so much warm tone. Like the Xeon palette, I would go with the C-Note. Now, if you are a bright and bold, beautiful person that wants bold colors, I would go with the Rio palette, and then you're getting your glitter, your pressed glitters in here. This has those bold colors, and you get the beauty of this, you get the pastel shades in here, and then you get your darker shades. If you like my Blossom Tribe palette from Blush Tribe that's no longer available, go with this one. This is better quality, and I'm saying that right now, and I love my Blush Tribe one, I do, but this one is so much better. So much better in pigmentation, so much better in every way possible as far as blending, building, everything. I love this one. This one is predominantly matte. You get, these two are more of a satin in here, this orange one, but honestly you can get away with using these as matte shades and you're fine. So if you like a bright bold color, I would go with this one. If you want to try the pressed glitter formula, or you just want glitters in general, I would go with this one, obviously. And they do have the one that is for Pride Month. If you want more bold and more of your rainbow type of shades, that's the one that I would go for. So who would I recommend this brand to? Somebody who wants something fun, innovative, some color but not full on color, different types of shades. If you get everything in this brand, I feel like there is no one here that I can say that may not like this, unless you're a true neutral woman and you don't want any other colors, you just want to stick to your browns and neutrals, this might not be the brand for you. But if you love color or you like those pops of colors, there's something here for you. There's a warm tone palette, there's a cool tone palette with some blues in it, there's a bright palette in here, there's a glitter, pressed glitters in here. So you get a little bit of everything. I love this. I can see a range of different ages, different types of eye shapes and sizes. You're gonna love this. I just love this brand so much, you guys. I genuinely have loved it. I have not been forced, or I do not feel like I was forced to use this brand. It just naturally came to me, and I love when I find brands like that because it just speaks to me, and I fall head over heels for them. I cannot rave about her. She's doing such a great job. I am 100% a fan of hers now. She has won me over. I love her brand. I love her aesthetic. I love her ideas. She's coming out with great ideas. And the word is going out about this brand. It is catching on, and it's making me nervous because now she's really going to blow up. So I'm happy for her. It's very exciting for her. I'm happy that I was able to find her relatively early in her career because I'm just so happy and so content with her brand. I can use these every day and not be bored. I can mix and match them and not be bored. They all work so nice with one another. You get different types of finishes in here, as well as mattes, glitters, metallics, anything you can think of, you getting them in these palettes in different colors and different themes. All right, guys, so if you want to see my first impression of this brand, I will have the video up here so you guys can click that. You can go ahead and see the first impression and my reaction to this brand itself. I appreciate you guys for sticking around, and I will catch you guys in this video right here. Bye, guys.